Is your TV watching and listening to you? New smart TVs with internet connections able to transmit your private conversations.
Buyer beware for the holidays. The FBI says that new smart TV you got on Black Friday or Cyber Monday could actually be spying on you.
You walk into your living room, settle into your favorite chair, and turn on your smart TV to watch the evening news. What you don't realize is that your TV is watching you right back. Every show you stream, every button you press, every voice command you give to your remote is being recorded, analyzed, and in some cases sold to advertisers you've never heard of. Smart TVs have become incredibly popular over the last few years, and for good reason. They're convenient, they connect to all your streaming services, and the picture quality keeps getting better. But there's a darker side to this technology that most people don't know about until it's too late. Today, we're counting down the 5 worst smart TV brands when it comes to your privacy in 2025. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which ones to avoid and what they're actually doing with your personal information. But before we get started, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel to help inform others who have no idea what is in their living room. Let's start with number 5. Number 5. Vizio, the repeat offender. Vizio built their reputation on being the affordable option. Walk into any big box store and you'll see a 55-inch Vizio screen sitting there for half the price of a Samsung or LG, and it's tempting. You think you're getting a great deal, saving hundreds of dollars for basically the same features. But here's what they don't tell you at the checkout counter. You're not saving money. You're trading something far more valuable. Vizio's entire business model runs on something called automatic content recognition, or ACR for short. This technology scans everything that appears on your screen. Netflix shows, cable news, even your PlayStation games. It doesn't matter what input you're using. The TV is watching it all and shipping that data straight to advertising partners. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Back in 2017, the Federal Trade Commission and the New Jersey Attorney General took Vizio to court. The case revealed that Vizio had been tracking viewing habits on 11 million televisions without asking permission first. The fine was $2.2 million, which sounds like a lot until you realize how much money they were probably making from selling that data. Then came a $17 million class action settlement for doing the exact same thing to customers. You'd think after getting caught, fined, and sued, they would have learned their lesson. They didn't. Modern Vizio TVs still ship with viewing data collection turned on by default. Unless you go digging through the settings menu yourself, which most people never do, your TV starts collecting information the second you plug it in. I talked to a woman in Ohio who bought a Vizio in 2023. She told me she had no idea her TV was tracking anything until her teenage son read an article about it online. When she finally found the settings to turn it off, they were buried 5 menus deep under something called viewing data. If you value your privacy, this is one brand to skip. Number 4. LG. Beautiful on the outside, watching on the inside. LG makes gorgeous televisions. Their OLED panels are some of the best in the business. The colors are stunning, and their Web OS interface feels smooth and premium. I've recommended LG TVs to friends in the past based purely on picture quality. But when you look under the hood at what these TVs are actually doing, the story changes pretty quickly. The problem with LG is something called Live Plus. It's their version of automatic content recognition, and it doesn't just watch what you're streaming on Netflix or Hulu. It watches everything that goes through your TV, your Xbox, your Apple TV, your Blu-ray player, even your cable box. If it's plugged into an HDMI port, LG is scanning it and collecting data on what you're watching. Here's the thing that really bothers me about LG. They're not even trying to hide it. Their advertising platform documentation, which you can find online if you know where to look, openly states that they use content consumption data for ad targeting. They're telling advertisers exactly what they're doing with your information. At least Vizio tried to be sneaky about it. Multiple users have reported being locked out of certain features on their LG TVs unless they agree to the company's privacy terms. Imagine buying a $1,500 television and then being told you can't use the smart features you paid for unless you hand over your viewing data. That's the choice LG is giving people. And it's not much of a choice at all. Independent watchdog groups have confirmed that Live Plus doesn't miss anything. It's active whenever your TV is on, constantly feeding information back to LG's Ad Solutions platform. Verdict on LG: high risk. They're watching everything, they're open about monetizing your data, and they make it nearly impossible to say no without losing features you already paid for. Number 3. Samsung, the ecosystem that follows you everywhere. Samsung doesn't dominate the TV market by accident. They're everywhere. Big box stores, online retailers, electronics shops. You can't escape them. And that's actually part of the problem. Because when you buy a Samsung TV, you're not just buying a television. You're buying into an entire ecosystem that's designed to follow you from room to room and device to device. Samsung calls their tracking system Viewing Information Services, which sounds pretty harmless until you understand what it actually does. The TV tracks what you watch, obviously, but then it syncs that data with your Samsung phone, your tablet, your smartwatch, anything running Samsung software. It all flows into Samsung Ads, which is their in-house advertising platform. Their privacy policy doesn't hide this. To their credit, they come right out and say they share viewing data for ad targeting purposes. The problem is that most people don't read privacy policies. They're long, they're filled with legal language, and they're boring. Samsung is counting on you not reading it. Now, Samsung does technically let you opt out of personalized ads. But here's the catch. Those settings are buried so deep in the menu system that you'd need a treasure map to find them. You have to click through multiple menus, scroll past dozens of options. And even then, turning off personalized ads doesn't actually stop the tracking. The TV still collects your data. The only difference is that Samsung keeps all the advertising revenue for themselves instead of sharing it with partners. You still see ads, they're just not personalized anymore. Then there's the microphone situation. Samsung smart remotes have voice features built in, which is convenient for searching for shows or adjusting settings. But for years, people have questioned whether those microphones are listening even when you're not actively using them. Samsung denies it, but their privacy policy is vague enough that the concern hasn't gone away. Verdict on Samsung: moderate risk. They're absolutely tracking you across multiple devices, and the microphone situation is concerning. But at least they give you the option to opt out, even if those options are deliberately hard to find. That puts them in the middle of this list. But cross-device tracking is nothing compared to what's next, because the number 2 brand has been accused of something far worse. Number 2. Roku, the streaming giant, with a data breach problem. Roku owns the streaming space. Their devices are in tens of millions of American homes. Major TV brands like TCL, Hisense, and Sharp all use Roku's operating system. The pitch is simple and appealing. Affordable devices, easy to use, plug-and-play convenience. What they don't mention in the commercials is that every single interaction you have with a Roku device feeds an advertising machine that never stops collecting data. Roku uses automatic content recognition just like the others, monitoring what you watch across all your apps and inputs. But they also embed third-party trackers into nearly every app you install. Those trackers log your viewing habits, your app usage, your watch times. When you pause, when you rewind, everything. Roku Ads then uses that data for what they call planning and activation, which is corporate speak for building a detailed profile on you and selling it to advertisers. But here's where Roku's story gets darker. In 2024, Roku suffered a data breach. Actually, they suffered 2 data breaches in the same year. The first one exposed approximately 15,000 user accounts. The second one was much worse, compromising about 576,000 accounts total. Email addresses, passwords, payment information, all of it leaked and potentially sold on the dark web. When a company gets breached once, you can maybe write it off as bad luck or a sophisticated attack. When it happens twice in the same year, that tells you something about their security practices. And if they can't keep your email and password safe, how confident should you be that they're properly protecting your viewing data? Then came the lawsuit. In 2025, a case filed in Florida accused Roku of tracking and selling children's viewing data without parental consent. That's a direct violation of COPPA, the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. The case is still ongoing, but the allegations are serious. We're not talking about tracking what adults watch. We're talking about collecting data on what kids are watching and potentially selling that information to advertisers. Think about that for a second. Roku isn't just a box sitting quietly under your TV. It's logging every button press, every pause, every show your children watch. Even when you think you're just having a quiet family movie night, Roku is taking notes and building profiles. Verdict on Roku: extreme risk. They're tracking aggressively, they've been breached multiple times, and they're facing legal action for potentially exploiting children's data. The convenience isn't worth the privacy nightmare. Now, you might think that's as bad as it gets. But somehow, one company found a way to go even further. Number 1. Amazon Fire TV. Alexa is always listening. Welcome to number 1, the absolute worst privacy offender when it comes to smart TVs in 2025. And here's the twist. It's not technically a TV manufacturer, it's Amazon. Whether you bought a Fire TV stick, a Fire TV Cube, or a television with Fire TV Edition built in, you didn't buy a streaming device. You bought a direct pipeline into Amazon's advertising and data collection machine. And unlike the other brands on this list, Amazon isn't just watching what you view, they're listening to what you say. Fire TV collects everything: your device data, your IP address, your physical location, your network name, every app you use, what you watch, when you watch it, how long you watch it, and your advertising ID, which ties all of this directly to your Amazon account. That means your TV viewing habits are being connected to your shopping history, your Alexa queries, your Prime Video preferences, everything. But that's just the setup. The real privacy invasion starts with Alexa. Every single voice command you give to your Fire TV remote gets recorded and stored in Amazon's cloud servers. And it stays there permanently unless you manually go in and delete it, which most people never even think to do. So Amazon is sitting on a complete archive of every show you've asked for, every movie you've searched for, every question you've muttered at your TV when you couldn't find the remote. They have years of voice recordings from millions of households, and they're using that data to build incredibly detailed profiles of their customers. Amazon does offer a setting to disable interest-based ads, which sounds good on paper. But here's the problem. That setting doesn't stop data collection. It doesn't stop tracking. All it does is change who profits from your information. Amazon still knows everything. They still record everything. They just don't share the advertising revenue with third parties anymore. Picture it like this. Fire TV is like hiring a personal assistant who follows you around your house, writes down everything you say, and then files a daily report with the marketing department. They smile. They help you find what you're looking for, but they're never actually on your side. Verdict on Amazon Fire TV: extreme risk. Amazon is tracking your viewing habits, recording your voice commands, and connecting everything to your shopping history and personal Amazon account. It's surveillance disguised as convenience, and it's happening in millions of homes right now. So there you have it. From Vizio's repeat offenses to Amazon's all-seeing assistant, smart TVs have become data harvesting machines operating in your home around the clock. But here's the good news. You're not powerless. There are steps you can take right now to protect yourself. First, turn off ACR, or viewing data collection, in your TV settings. It's usually buried in the privacy section or the ads section, but it's there. Every brand puts it in a slightly different place, but spend 10 minutes digging through your settings menu. It's worth it. Second, disable interest-based ads across all your streaming apps. Go into Netflix, Hulu, Prime Video, and turn off personalized advertising in each one. It won't stop all tracking, but it limits how much data is being actively used against you. Third, if you're tech-savvy or know someone who is, consider putting your smart TV on a separate guest Wi-Fi network. This isolates it from your other devices and makes it harder for companies to build those cross-device profiles. Some people even use firewall rules to block known tracking domains, which is more advanced but extremely effective if you're serious about privacy. Smart TVs aren't evil. They're convenient, they're powerful, and they're here to stay. But they collect data by default, and most people have no idea it's happening. You can still enjoy your smart TV. You don't have to throw it out or go back to cable. You just have to be smarter than the TV itself.